Friends, welcome to our online classes. I hope that all of you are good and healthy. So, we had started electoral politics civics lesson 3. In the previous video, we discussed about the reserve constituencies, which are reserve constituencies ensures the representation of every section of society. Our constitution makers made provision for reserve constituencies. So, seats or constituencies are reserved for the people who belong to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So, in today's class, we discussed about the voters list, EPIC, which is election photo identity card, nomination of candidates, election campaigns, and challenges to free and fair elections. Let's start today's topic. Voters list. The list of people who are eligible for voting prepared by the Election Commission of India. The voter list ensures that everyone in the country get an equal opportunity of choosing their political representatives, regardless of a person's caste, creed, color, gender. Every citizen above 18 years of age is eligible to vote. This is an important step. It is linked to the first condition of a democratic election. Everyone should get an equal opportunity to choose their representatives. So, it is the responsibility of government to get the name of all the eligible voters and put on the voters list. As new person attain voting age, names are added to the voter list. New person who are above 18 years. This list is officially called as electoral roll and is commonly known as the voters list. The right to vote falls under universal adult franchise. It means all the citizens aged 18 years and above can vote in the election regardless of his or her caste, religion or gender. Now, what is EPIC? EPIC stands for Election Photo Identity Card. This is a new system introduced by Election Commission. The government has tried to give this card to every person on the voters list, and the voters are required to carry this card when they go out to vote, so that no one can vote for someone else. But the card is not yet compulsory for voting. For the voting, the voters can show many other proofs identity like ration card, driving license or Aadhaar card. So, this is all about election photo identity card. Now, what is nomination of candidates? In a democratic election, people should have a real choice and there is no restrictions to anyone to contest in the election. Anyone who can be voter can also become a candidate in an election. The only difference is that order to be a candidate, the minimum age is 25 years while it is only 18 years for being a voter. Another one restriction, those who are criminals in extreme case can't contest in elections. So the minimum age required is 25 years and the candidates who are criminals in extreme case can't contest in the election, and the political parties nominate their candidates who get the party symbols and the support, and the party nomination is called as party ticket, and the candidate has to fill a nomination form and give some money as a security deposits. So, moreover, every candidate has to make a legal declaration giving full details of educational qualifications of the candidates, details of the assets and liabilities of the candidates, of his and her family, serious criminal case pending against the candidate. So this information provided has to be made public in order so that the voters can make their decisions accordingly. Now, need of election campaign in a democratic form of government. In India, election campaigns take place for 2 week period between the announcement of final list of candidates and the date of polling. During this period, the candidates contact their voters, political leaders, and address the election meetings, and the political parties mobilize their supporters so that the publicity can be done through newspapers, television channels, election meetings, and posters. So in election campaigns, political party try to focus the public attention on some big issues for which usually catching the slogans are created to attract peoples. For example, har har modi, ghar ghar modi. So these are the uh, uh, basically public attention tools. Matlab why how we catch the public attention. So they create the slogans. They publicity their publicity is done through newspapers, television channels, election meetings, and the posters. Demerits of election campaign: it creates a sense of disunity and factionalism in every locality. So if the country is divided into different parts, so it creates a disunity. Different political parties leaders often put allegations against one another. So allegations are also there. The parties and candidates, for allegations means one party is blaming the other party for any legal illegal work. So this also a demerit for of a election campaign. The parties and candidates often use dirty tricks to win the elections. For example, use of power, money. So all these dirty tricks are used by parties and candidates. This is also a demerit of election campaign. Pressure to win electoral fight does not allow a sensible long term policies to be formulated. So ऐसे में क्या होता है कि political parties formulate the short term policies. They promise the people that they will do this and this, but the long term the electoral fight does not allow us sensible long term policies to be formulated. Some good people who may wish to serve the country do not enter this field. So this is also a demerit of election campaign. And the slogans given by different political parties, for example, Garibi Hatao given by Congress party, Save Democracy, Janta party during Lok Sabha election, Land to the Tiller, लेफ्ट फ्रंट इन वेस्ट बंगाल स्टेट असेंबली इलेक्शन में ये स्लोगन दिया गया, प्रोटेक्ट टू द सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ तेलुगुस. So all these slogans are given by different political parties. What makes an election in India democratic? In India, elections are conducted by the Election Commission. Election Commission is an autonomous body independent of any government control. So election commission is a autonomous body and it is independent of any government control. The president of India appoints the chief election commission, and the chief election commission is neither answerable to the government nor to the president. Election commission take all the decisions related to elections and it declares the election dates and also the results. During the election period, the election commission can order the government to follow some guidelines to prevent the use and misuse of government power to enhance its chances to win elections or to transfer some government officials. Election Commission implements the code of conduct and punishes any candidate or party that violates it. So what is code of conduct? To regulate election campaign, there are some election laws. What are the elections laws? So, according to these laws, no party or candidate bribe or threaten voters, and no party or candidates are not allowed to appeal them in the name of caste or religion. Candidates are not allowed to use government resources for election campaign, and they are also not allowed to spend more than 25 lakh in a constituency for a Lok Sabha election, and not more than 10 lakh in a constituency in the assembly election. If any party or candidate is found practicing any of the above laws, their candidature can be rejected by the court even after they have won the election. So, this is the code of conduct. The election commission has the power of punishing those candidates or parties who violate the code of conduct. During election, the elections commission sets guidelines for the government so that government's power are not misused for winning elections. Now, acceptance of election result or outcome. If elections are free or fair, the outcomes always favor the powerful. So in such situation, the ruling party do not lose election. Usually, losing party does not accept the outcome of rigid election. So the outcomes of India's election speaks itself. So, rigid election means the election on the basis of fraud and malpractices. So, the ruling party routinely lose election in India both at national and state level. In the US, and the sitting elected representative rarely lose an election, but in India about half of the sitting MPs, member of parliament, or MLAs, member of legislative assemblies, lose elections. Candidates who are known to have spent a lot of money or buying votes, and those with known criminal connection often lose elections. The electoral outcomes are usually accepted by the defeated party as people's verdict. So, this is all about the acceptance of election outcome. Now, what are the challenges to free and fair election? Candidates and parties with lot of money may not be sure of their victory, but they do enjoy a big and unfair advantages over small parties and independent candidates. Some candidates in some other country, candidates with criminal connection have been able to push others out of the electoral race to secure the ticket from major parties. So, some families rent to dominate political party. Tickets are distributed to the relatives from these families. So, this is also a big challenge. Elections offer only little choice to an ordinary citizens. All the major parties are quite similar to each other in policies and practices. Very often election offer little choice to the ordinary citizens. So smaller parties and independent candidates suffer huge disadvantage compared to the big parties in terms of money powers and organizational support. So these challenges exist not only in India but also in many established democracies. This is a matter of concern for all who believe in democracies. So this is all about this chapter. This chapter is over now. Thank you, students.